Hello, welcome to another Board Deck and Dice preview. Today we're looking at Planet Unknown, which this is obviously a Kickstarter prototype for, but even the prototype has the lazy sleuzen the lazy sleuzen. Yes, that's what it's called, the lazy sleuzen of selection. This is obviously a game with Polymino or Tetra style pieces, but it's quite a little bit different from the rest of the world. Now, every player will start with their own planet. In this game, these are the same in the prototype, but they will be asymmetric in the final product, and this will be dual layered. On the board, we have these life pods, which are stranded and need rescuing for points, and we have rows and columns. And columns and rows, and you will score if you manage to fill those rows and columns the points on the end. We also on the tree track here have the tree track. It is a tree track. The various paths, things that we're going to be upgrading. I would say tech, but there is one called tech. So we have tech, rover, bio, water, and Civ. We have some Civ bonus cards, which are obviously related to the civilization track, some meteors and some biomasses, and then some endgame scoring cards. Now these are super interesting because you will have two of these, basically one place to your left and one place to your right that you're sharing with the people next to you. Now normally in games where you're kind of focused on your own grid, your goals are for yourself. Well, this one you've got to look to your left and right and see if you're going to make this have the most unique civilization areas on your planet, for example. So this is quite cool because there's a bit of interaction in, do you bother going for those on your left and right? Turns are very, very simple. It's a little bit different in a two-player game, but if you're in a more than two-player game, then it's easy. Let's say I'm sat here nearest this wedge. I simply rotate the board to where I want. Let's say I'm going to go for this one. So this is facing me, and I can take either of those two. Everyone else can take from the one that they are assigned to. So I will take this one. The first placement has to be on a edge, and then unless you've upgraded your tech, you have to place touching that one. So I might slot this one here like so. Now if I'd have crushed this life pod, if I'd have put the tile over it, that would be out of the game and I wouldn't be able to score points. As it is, I've put down a water and a rover tile which match the colours of the cube nicely, and these will potentially activate my tech track. So the rover, yeah it does, I've got one rover. This means I can now put a rover out onto the last tile I played. I have two rovers, and I'm going to put it here because rovers are how you pick up these life pods and score points from. The water one also gets me points because I've played it over ice on the planet. If I had played it over squares that didn't have any ice on, I wouldn't get any points. So this one goes up as well. And then the next player will rotate, and so on and so forth. So the different things we have here, if I took this one next, you'll see that there's a meteor on it. At the minute both sides are the same. We made a suggestion about that which may come into fruition, may not. I'm going to put this here so it doesn't cover any water, so I'm not wasting water, but there is a meteor. In this iteration you can see that the meteor crosses two spaces. That is going to be resolved in the final game. In this game the tail of the meteor is where you place the meteor. Now these are bad because meteors mean that even if you complete a column or a row, you cannot score that. But I still get my bonuses, so I get a green, and I get a tech, which goes up like that. The only other one is the black, which is civilization. As these tech trees go up, you get various bonuses. Let's have a look at those. So, you get points, which are the yellow coins. You get a free advancement on any other tech tree or this one. If you get to the trees, you get to place a single biomass piece. You have to place it immediately unless you've unlocked technology that lets you keep hold of it. With the rover, whenever you have a picture of a rover, you unlock that rover, and the numbers are how many moves you can have with the rover or rovers that you have, the total amount of moves. The rover track, unlike the other one, when you get to the top, if you keep on increasing it, you carry on getting 4 moves. Rovers not only pick up life pods, but they also pick up meteors, so that's a way of getting rid of those negative things. The Civ cards here, the Civ track gives you access to Civ cards at the level said, and these are either going to be instant bonuses or endgame scoring, and there'll be a certain amount per game, per players will decide how many of these cards are out, and they're quite powerful. They let you advance tracks, they let you get endgame points, and so on and so forth. The tech track is really interesting because that lets you get permanent upgrades. Tech level 1, as active player, you can place your tile anywhere on the planet. So when you're choosing the pieces, when you're rotating this, you can put your things anywhere. You don't have to touch other ones. You can store biomass squares, you get +1 to movement, double water, and you're immune from future meteor strikes. That is a general overview of how Planet Unknown works. What wasn't unknown going into Planet Unknown is that I would enjoy this game. I already had a strong feeling that I'd enjoy this game. I'd seen some of the stuff that Adam had put on Facebook, some of the pictures, and generally I like a good Tetrisy game. Now, I say I like a good Tetrisy game, but I've never found one that's better than Barren Park. So basically, Barren Park is the only one in my collection. However, Planet Unknown would happily sit on top of, next to, beside, under Barren Park in my collection, and be again the only other Tetris Polymino game that I have kept. And the reason for that is that it doesn't quite play like you expect. Rather than trying to produce massive patterns on the board or link areas, the actual placement of your pieces is quite free. And what you're really trying to do is push up your cubes on those tracks. And those tracks give you a flavour, they give you upgrades, they give you ways of playing. Are you going to move your rover all around and collect stuff? And it works really well. Typically, for a game where you're playing pieces onto your own player board, there is a lot of staring at your own board. To combat this, the designers have put in these shared goals that go left and right, and that is a genius move. We actually played the first game of this wrong, where we had these goals as hidden goals, and at the end we all went, it'd be nice to have more interaction, maybe in kind of a Troy style where you have a secret goal but it scores for everyone, or like everyone knows the goals. And then we found out that I'd done it wrong, and there should have been 1 goal to your left and 1 goal to your right, which is great because this game goes up to 6 players. If you're all sharing those goals in the middle, then looking around 6 people's maps to see if you're the leading is a bit time consuming. But here you just need to look left and look right, and you'll see very quickly whether you are in the lead for those goals. And those goals are where the pattern building, where the race to the top of the tracks comes in, and it just works super smoothly. The centerpiece here is of course the Lazy Susan, which provides your drafting mechanic depending on which segment you are past. And yeah, later on in the game that does become a bit of an option. Do you want to pass someone another rover because they're clearing off meteors and they're going to get a good score from that? I don't want to give them a rover. Can I do that? Can I line it up in a way that doesn't give them a rover, or a way that gives them no choice but to take a piece with a meteor on? It's very, very clever. Yeah, it's just one of the more complete games that I have played at this stage of development. I have had a lot of fun with this. It's one that has gone down well in my game group, but I could easily get my wife to play and my boy to play, and they would have a lot of fun with it. I am super impressed with Planet Unknown, and I recommend you go and check out the Kickstarter down below for more on this game. Thanks very much for watching Board Deck and Dice. We will see you next time.